Cards and More by Sherry, and I don't know why, but I am going to do a vlog today. As many of you know, if you follow my channel or know me from the crafters community or anything else like that, um, the design team members, some of them from the Craft Shack and myself, have been doing the NaNoJouMo art journaling prompts. And if you don't know what that stands for, it stands for National Nonstop Journaling Month. NaNoJouMo, or as I like to call it, Nana Boo Boo. Can't help myself. But we decided we would do our own prompts because we weren't necessarily inspired by some of the other things that were coming up, or they just didn't click with us. So we made up our own prompts. And I've been struggling on doing that for several reasons. First of all, let me say to those of you that do daily creative content and put out a video every day, I bow to you because it is such a time-intensive thing to do. It's just unbelievable. And it's causing me to learn more. It's causing me to realize I probably don't want to do daily videos in the future, but I'm going to try to persevere as best that I can. Another reason that it's been difficult for me is that I'm fairly new to mixed media, so I'm still very, very much learning. I also haven't done art journaling, even though I got all inspired and bought several different kinds of art journals when I had coupons and there were sales and different things like that. I have watercolor paper ones. I have mixed media ones. I have nice Strathmore ones. I have a visual journal. Yeah. Have I used them? No, I haven't. So I decided when we started this NaNoJouMo thing that I would pull out this Canson mixed media one that I had that I'm not particularly fond of, but I'm trying to continually remind myself that this is just paint and just paper, and I'm not spending a fortune on the materials that I'm using, and it's okay. It's a learning process, and that's the way I'm trying to embrace it. Another thing that's been difficult for me is we started out trying to do the 15-minute challenge with the NaNoJouMo. Yeah, that's not working real good for me. I don't feel like I can get anything accomplished in 15 minutes, but I also think that we're misguided in what we're trying to do. We're trying to finish a project in 15 minutes, and I don't think that that was the intent. I think the intent was just to encourage us to daily spend at least 15 minutes working in your art journal. Whether you get a project done or not, it's irrelevant. The point is to create that daily habit of spending at least 15 minutes in your journal. So I've struggled with that time constraint, and it's been strictly a self-imposed constraint and struggle that I put on myself. So I said all that to say yesterday's prompt, today, by the way, is Tuesday, November 17th, 2015. It's a rainy, windy, cloudy day here in the Houston area, and I'm just having trouble getting going today because it's nice and cloudy, and it's one of those mornings when you would just like to stay snuggled up in bed, or in my case, I'm sitting here with my breakfast of champions, which happens to be Pop-Tarts and a cup of coffee. So there you go. That's about the extent of my morning. Yesterday's prompt, let's talk about that, was fairies. Now, I wasn't even going to do a project yesterday. And not that there's anything wrong with images of fairies or pixies or anything like that. It's just not anything that I personally have ever used. And I just couldn't wrap my head around, first of all, what kind of image was I going to use? And second, then what was I going to do with it? So we got to joking yesterday afternoon in a little Google Hangout that we were on, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to Google an image of fairy, print out a color book image, and color it in and call it good. Well, that's pretty much what I did. The kicker is, then I went to go do some nice coloring and blending with Prismacolor pencils and Gamsol last night, and my camera recorded for about literally 48 seconds and stopped, and I didn't know it. And I'm coloring and thinking to myself, y'all are going to die of boredom when you watch this video. Well, you don't have to worry about it now because it didn't tape. So I saved you from the sheer boredom of watching me color. But let me show you what I did end up with. First of all, I found this sweet little image. I printed her on some fairly lightweight cardstock. It's, if you're familiar with Stampin' Up! Cardstock, that's what I printed it on, with an inkjet printer. So I knew I was going to have to do something to preserve the ink. So I put a very light coat of matte gel medium over it, which sealed it and protected the printer ink from doing anything, which was perfect. And then I was going to color with my colored pencils and blend with Gamsol and one of those paper stumps, whatever you call those, tortillones or whatever, tortillas, whatever. And that was working sort of, but instead of the color blending, it was more like I was just pushing it around. It was kind of smearing, and I didn't like what I was getting. So I abandoned that and just went to sheer, just coloring and trying to blend just with the pencils themselves and come back with a white pencil and do a little bit more blending. So that's what I ended up with. I think she's kind of cute, kind of pretty. This background was already partially done. The bubble stencil stuff that you see in blue and gold was already on the page because I had just used it as a mop off. And those are Color Bloom spray, so there's lots of shimmer. So all I did is I added some more color down at the bottom, some green and some silver at the top, just to add some more shimmer. Then I fussy cut her out, which, just stick a fork in my eye, okay? I hate fussy cutting. Oy. Cut her out, and I attached her with glossy Mod Podge. I would normally have used matte gel medium, but I didn't want to put something matte over the shimmery sprays that I put on here because I still wanted to retain that shimmer. So I used the glossy Mod Podge. I'm not sure how I'm going to like that outcome because I know that it has a tendency to be sticky when you close your journal. So I'm asking you guys, if you will please, give me some ideas. What else should I do with this page? I'm thinking, as I lay there at night when I can't sleep and having self-imposed nightmares about art journaling, then I'm thinking about what to do with this page. I'm thinking, should I put kind of a grass line here? Maybe doodle some flowers and things so that it looks like she's come down and picked these flowers out of this little field of flowers down here. I don't know. I don't want to lose a lot of the shimmer, so I thought about getting out some of my cheap shimmery watercolor paints and doing that. So give me your best ideas. Comment below and let me know what you think. Should I stop? Should I put a frame around it? Should I doodle a field and some flowers down below? Give me your ideas what you think I should do with it. I have to tell you kind of a funny story, and I'll preface it by saying I love my husband very much. Okay, wink, wink. He's a very funny guy. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth, though. So I was showing him some of my pictures that I started with at the beginning of this last week whenever I jumped into this whole journaling thing. And I was very unhappy with them, and they looked very hokey and little kid, and not that there's anything wrong with that, okay? It's just I have trouble liking that because to me it doesn't look finished, it doesn't look professional, it doesn't look whatever it doesn't look like, I don't know. So he was standing here in the doorway of what I like to refer to as my Kraaft. This is my craft room office. And I showed him, it was the flowers one. And I said, look at this. It looks like a kindergartner did this. And he looks at me, doesn't miss a beat, and says, oh no. And I'm thinking, aw, he's so supportive, isn't that sweet? And then, very deadpan, in just the very next breath, he says, first grade or second grade? I'm like, you may now leave the room. And this is my daily life, you guys. So I did want to tell you, I do have another video posted today, and that's for my Tag It Tuesday prompts that I do over on my blog. If you like doing mixed media altered tags, maybe you want to play along with me, that would be great. You can check that out. I think it's called November Thankful Art Tag or something like that. You'll see it in the list of videos. Anyway, thank you for putting up with listening to me this morning. I don't know that I'll do any more vlogs because it's highly intimidating sitting here looking at that webcam, trying to make this a personable thing, and that's about all I have to say. So I hope you have a blessed day. If you're a creator, get out there and create and embrace my new mantra. It's just paint It's just paper. Bye, guys.